Thanks for tuning into my channel today. My name is John and this here is the Xbox Basement. If you're a longtime Xbox player like me going all the way back to the OG, you were probably astounded to find out about a year ago that the Xbox 360 marketplace was shutting down. And this actually happened not too long ago on July 29th. And I made a video a while back talking about how this was coming and how this is just an extreme testament to the longevity and durability of the Xbox 360 and all of its supporters. And there was an insanely massive outcry against actually shutting down the Xbox 360 marketplace. It really just felt like an end of an era for everybody that was around to experience the launch, the absolute growth, and now the closing of the final chapter of what could arguably be considered Xbox's greatest console. But as the saying goes, when God opens a door, he opens a window. That's not how that saying goes. Because with no coincidence of timing, just hours after the marketplace has been officially shut down, there is now an Xbox 360 Homebrew store. I will absolutely put a link in the description for this Homebrew store if you want to see all the details on how to get this up and going on your Xbox 360. Of course, this is not an official Xbox 360 marketplace, and all content that is hosted on the console mod repro is Homebrew. They are not officially released games. There is nothing that is going to be official or licensed about these things. And if you've had any type of modding experience at all, you know that there's going to be some hoops to jump through to get things like this actually working. So no, it is not going to be as easy as hooking up your old Xbox 360 to the internet and just downloading this. Because you are going to need a couple things. First of all, you're going to need a hard modded Xbox 360. You're going to need something like the Aurora dashboard. You are going to need some knowledge about how modding actually works. And the most important, you are going to need some patience. Now, if you don't want to tackle all those things, there are some listings on eBay for modded 360s. So it's really going to depend on your confidence level for soldering, opening up your console. But overall, I would say you have nothing to lose. If you've got an old Xbox 360 sitting around and you want to breathe some more life into it, Mr. Mario has a video talking all about how to actually get this done. So I'll put that link down in the description as well if you want to join a community of people that are modding their Xbox 360s, keeping that ecosystem alive by sharing and supporting the community. Let's always remember, however, that it is never okay to pirate games. And speaking of games, Sam and Max are back in the spotlight. Sam and Max the Devil's Playhouse makes its debut August 14th on Xbox. So I was reading through the Xbox news and I saw this title of Sam and Max and I thought to myself, you know, I've heard these names before. I've seen these characters before, but I know it's been a long time. Which of course led me to do some digging, because Sam and Max actually debuted in 1987. And I remember being exposed to Sam and Max in their 90s cartoon. So this release actually has a little bit of nostalgia for me. This one was just announced on ID Xbox, and this is going to be a remaster of the original. And honestly, this follows Sam and Max in their original character styles all the way back from the 80s. It's got that cel-shaded style, so it's going to be ageless when it comes to graphics. This one, of course, is going to be produced by Telltale, who are known for their more story-like animated games. Now, this is not the first time that Sam and Max have actually been in video game format, with their original release coming out in 1993. And along with some game release controversy back in 2004, with the attempted release of Sam and Max Freelance Police, this final release of Sam and Max The Devil's Playhouse is going to be a remaster. So if you like a bite of nostalgia every now and then and you remember Sam and Max, you can grab this one starting very soon in August 14th. And speaking of something to grab, right about that same amount of time, you can pick up the Xbox Sky Cipher Special Edition controller. And I know you might be thinking, yeah, whatever, it's just another blue controller. However, this one is going to be unique for this reason right here. It has a transparent blue design, a silver interior, metallic features, not to mention that every bit of this controller is absolutely blue. So if you're just a person who goes nuts for anything blue and Xbox, this is going to be the perfect controller for you. This would honestly also be a really good gift for like a Sonic the Hedgehog fan, because if you remember the extremely limited giveaway for Sonic and Knuckles controllers, I'm sure you can see what a great value this controller would be. And I bring that up because I have somebody in my life who is absolutely all about Sonic and loves the color blue. But those things are still not what makes this controller absolutely unique. What makes this controller unique is this transparent shell. So you might be thinking to yourself, yeah, I can just go get that in the Xbox Design Lab. And that's what I thought as well. However, if we pop over to the Xbox Design Lab, we can see that we have our choice of colors, we also have our choice of patterns, but I couldn't find anywhere on here where it gives us the option for a translucent shell. Now, of course, this isn't the first time that Xbox has released some sort of translucent shell, because they've even gone back as far as the original Xbox, but they are far and in between. So the totally blue design and this translucent casing really caught my eye, and I hope that moving forward, Xbox will put this option into the custom design controller lab. If you want to grab the Cipher controller, you can grab it starting August 13th for only $70. Because let's be honest, Xbox has the best controller and everybody knows that. Now, if you've been following Xbox for a while, you've noticed that they've put out these extremely limited, sometimes even limited to one editions of their Xbox Series X consoles. One of the most popular ones, which was not limited to one, was the SpongeBob Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl 2 version. This one, of course, came with a SpongeBob controller that had a bunch of different characters on it, as well as the square himself designed into the shape of your Xbox Series X. Of course, this included the digital download version of All-Star Brawl 2, clearly in support of the game, partnered with Xbox to release this thing. And my first response to something like this is that you have to be a hardcore SpongeBob fan to want this thing. Be prepared to send in your hate comments because I never really saw the appeal of SpongeBob and I don't really get it. However, a lot of people do. So this console was available exclusively on Best Buy and went for $700, available only in the US. And you're probably asking yourself, why are you bringing up this old console that's no longer available for sale? Well, this console is actually available for sale, but you gotta find them secondhand. Because what I'm gonna do right now is pose a question, and that question is this: are these limited console drops actually good for the community? Because we all know that exclusivity typically drives the sale of something, especially when it comes to a popular character like SpongeBob. And I actually found one of these for sale here in my state of Texas. I was just browsing around everybody's favorite marketplace and this popped up under Xbox. The Xbox Series X limited edition SpongeBob. Now this thing is totally brand new in box, but look at this. He is asking $1,500 for this. Over double the price of what you could have gotten it brand new. I did a video a while back talking about the limited edition one-of-a-kind Bluey console, and in that video I did make the statement that this is going to drive the price of this console through the roof, because it is literally a one of one. Now for somebody who really wants this console, they are able to get it. Now this could have been a negative thing where this person just bought it to resell it later on. I'm not going to assume the worst about people, and they say that that's not what they're doing. But I will let you decide, do these consoles, very limited being like this, actually wreak havoc on our gaming community? And I would surmise more so for people that want to collect all the different types of consoles. With all the Xbox game announcements not too long ago, Xbox has been on the hype end and really looking forward to a ton of these releases. And Xbox just put up this image on X of their announced first-party Xbox games. And I think the key here is actually announced. Now, of course, they're trying to make hype for these games, but I wouldn't be surprised if Xbox has more things coming in the future, especially from ABK. But just looking at this list is really encouraging. Coming out very soon, we've got World of Warcraft. Right after that, in September, Age of Mythology, Ara Story Untold. Then in October, we've got Diablo 4, the expansion, Call of Duty Black Ops 6, and with an official date launch coming mid-November, Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. And then of course we have some of the bigger titles that we're expecting, still promised for now here in 2024. Indiana Jones, the very first Starfield Shattered Space, which I am very excited for. Towerborn, which I'm also very excited for. I really love the concept of Towerborn. Avowed, which got pushed back to February of 2025. South of Midnight, Doom Dark Ages, Fable, all coming out in 2025. And Microsoft actually makes a comment about Avowed in this post. They said, with so many games coming, they they are moving Avowed to February 18th, 2025, and now here's the reason for this, which I honestly think is a good reason, and that is to give players' backlog some breathing room. Now, me as somebody who doesn't get to play every day but is obviously in tune with the Xbox ecosystem, I have a backlog of games that I wish was much shorter, and seeing all these things actually really doesn't help my backlog. But I think we see a little more critical insight based on some user comments. Happy Avowed is getting more time take all the time they need. More time to give it a little extra polish too. And I think this is really addressing a lot of players' concerns on both sides of the aisle, whether it be PlayStation or PC or Xbox, and that is of games feeling like they're not finished. Now, Xbox doesn't say that that's why they're taking the time to push it back, however, I would imagine that that's what they're going to do. And as a gamer, that's what I want them to do. I want to see a finished game out, amazing quality when they promise that it will be done. And if it's gotta be pushed back a little, so be it. And to close us out for this episode, we have our next game recommendation, another Crab's Treasure. I have this one downloaded and ready to go on my PC, however, as I was just saying, I have a backlog already of games that I'm trying to get through. And if you've been keeping up with Xbox gaming and all, I'm sure that you have seen something about this game. Essentially, you are a crab that goes on an adventure trying to reclaim your shell of a home. This game is going to be very much a Souls-like, using all sorts of things as your home shell, doing massive boss battles, when fighting tons of enemies. This is a really cool spin on a crab. So if you're the type of person that likes this action-adventure genre for things like Dark Souls or Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, but you want more of a light-hearted style but still a fighting challenge, then check this one out. Another Crab's Treasure. Like I said, this one is sitting in my queue, and at some point I will get around to actually playing it. And that is all the news we have for today. Thanks for taking the time to watch this video. If you liked it, you know what to do, and we will see you guys in the next one.